What's up, guys? Synthetic Division here. I figured it was time to do the full review on the Bitaxe Gamma 601 from this brand, YYSLUPING. I am not going to try to say it, I will butcher it. Anyways, let's get into it. Um, as you know, if you've watched any of my videos, I review the hardware, I review any flaws I see in it, any things I like, dislike, and then I go over packaging and performance as far as out of the box goes, and also just kind of give my final thoughts on it. So let's get into it. Let's move this out of the way real fast, and we'll actually talk about packaging first. So as you've seen, the first thing I had showed you to show the name is the manual. Solid manual, pretty good. I don't see any clerical errors or any typos or any weird stuff like that. So pretty solid. Got good information. There's some frequently asked questions stuff on the back. Some troubleshooting tips. Again, documentation is wonderful, guys, especially for the new user. And I've only been doing this for 3 or 4 months, so I think this is important. Let's talk about packaging. Came in a pretty standard box. This is obviously their designs and stuff on there. Um, it's pretty good quality. Good. Again, got the nice foam insert. Comes with the multi-regional power brick. This does use the wall wart style one. Let's move this out of the way and I'll show you. This is power brick. You know me, I'm not a big fan of these, but it is what it is. For the most part, I've never had one go bad. I just prefer the lab bricks, kind of like this one from Bit Solo Player. I like theirs a lot because it has that 90 on it already. In fact, I use it on my bench to test it. So yeah, the power brick's less desirable, but it is what it is. You got to have a multi-regional plug. That's probably a solid one to use. Um, Over to the Bitaxe here. So a couple of cool features I like. The heatsink is the best one out of any factory shipped to me Bitaxe. By far, hands down, bar none, the best heatsink available on a stock Bitaxe. Okay, I've experimented with some different Bitaxes and I'm modifying Bitaxe power, Bitaxe heat sinks, kind of like this one. This is your standard heat sink that I get with about every Bitaxe. You see that, and then I bear the aluminum on the bottom. That's a standard one. This one by far the best one. Um, I'm gonna change the orientation on this one so that the air escaping goes over these heat sinks I've placed there. Uh, all the components are quality. I haven't had any trouble with it. Everything's good. I don't get any abnormal errors because of bad placements or anything like that. Every component on here is good. The one gripe I have a couple of gripes. So first gripe is this: the barrel jack is not a conventional size barrel jack. Conventional size barrel jacks for Bitaxes, according to documentation, is 5.5 by 2.1 millimeter. This is a 5.5 by 2.5 millimeter. So if you're doing the power supply setups like I do with multiple, you're gonna need some cables, and I'll bring this up here and hopefully you can see that. That's the brand. It's God, I can't with these names. Jin Tuyun. They work great. You'll need cables like this, or at least an adapter to convert it to 2.5 millimeter on the barrel jack. So yeah, that's kind of annoying. The barrel jack being a different size. The other one is the screen. Like, I don't like this spaced out screen thing, and I assume maybe they do like a custom case. I haven't really looked into it, but on this, it doesn't make any sense to have that white block here with the screen. So I just take them out, and the screen just has some spacing there. Again, if it's like the DTV Electronics one where they have it because it's in a little box and it flush mounts the screen, but this one really didn't need to have that. Yeah, not a big fan of that, but it is what it is. As far as thermals on this, out of the box, this is probably the best one I own. In my regular room where it's about 70 degrees constantly, 46 degrees Celsius on the ASIC out of the box. Voltage regulator right within that, under 60. Turned it up without heat sinks and it was like 55 and 65. It was really good. This brand is fantastic. So They've got a double thumbs up for me, aside from the two little, you know, nitpicks right there. This is not a nitpick, because some of these pre-made cables that we're getting and stuff like that, like I've seen power supplies that come with, 8 cables connected to them or whatever. This would be a huge annoyance to that. If you're just running a little single 50-watt power supply and its own cable, then like you get your own cable, but that's okay. It is what it is. So as you know, all of mine are on a bit track rack from Avoidbit, and we will be putting this one on there while we finish up this video here. Excuse me, I have a cold. I've had a head cold for a couple of days now, so if I cough, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Um, Other than that, Ben, like I said, this is a fantastic device, guys. I can't say enough good things about it. I did email their support, and they got back to me, and they were friendly. And when I email these companies' support groups, I just want to see if there's any after buying support, and they were super good. They let me know that there's support afterwards. So that's cool. I don't know if there's any warranty on these for overclocking, but I do know I have returned to their store a device that I bought that was dead, and it wasn't a Bitaxe. It was actually a bit disc that I had to return, and they were super cool about it. So, um, they do have an AliExpress store. So I would say if you're on AliExpress and you're buying Bitaxes like I do, um, definitely give these guys a shot. They're probably my favorite one that I've bought from AliExpress. Uh, I will never be able to pronounce their name, and I won't even try because it's going to sound horrible. But it's YYsluping. So like, yeah, I couldn't even pronounce it. But yeah, probably best. This is the best performing Bitaxe I have in the 17 Bitaxes I own. I know they make nerd axes, and they sell nerd Q axes and nerd oct axes and all that kind of stuff, and some of the other Bitaxe models, but hands down, best one. Oh, and another cool feature, kind of like IX Tech's El Mirage cooler, the fan comes off like this. That's great for servicing, guys. If you ever have to clean a fan or blow out the dirt and stuff, that's fantastic. Super easy to take off. You don't have to fight with any screws. But yeah, I will wrap this up, guys. I really think if you're going to buy a Bitaxe from AliExpress, this is the way to go. This is the company to buy from. If you want a decent, really good cooler out of the box, this is the company. They sell the best cooler I have as far as stock out of the box coolers. I'm not scared to I was not scared at all to overclock on this one out of the box. Would I recommend turning it up to crazy speeds? No, but turning it up to 1.2, 1.22, or 1.23 terahash, absolutely. This guy can do it easily. It's kind of crazy because this is one of the cheaper ones. Like I said, I think I paid about $86 for this Bitaxe from AliExpress shipped. So yeah, definitely worth buying. If you run across this brand, check them out. I think they have a website, but I haven't really looked because I just bought it from AliExpress. Was on the store and so forth, but yeah, check them out, guys. I think it's worth a worthy buy. I think they're fantastic. I haven't even changed the thermal paste on it because I'm like, it's so running so cool. Why mess with it? You know what I mean? But anyways, guys, thanks for watching the videos. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, do you have any experience with this brand with any of their other stuff? Because I'd be curious. I did order a Nerd Axe from them, just the Nerd Axe Gamma or whatever it's called. I do have that. That'll be coming soon. I'll be doing a full video about that as well. But yeah, I'd be curious to know. You got any experience with this brand? Let me know down in the comments, guys. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Peace out.